so quiet.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that.
People give me grief all the time about being quiet.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to deal with it.
In my mind, it sounds like I'm yelling.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, you know what? I can fix in post because now I'm doing two.
I can just talk louder.
You don't have to. Just be yourself.
It's too quiet.
Yeah, but I can.
Okay.
I've now learned how to record two audios at once.
Okay. 2 tracks.
So
Yeah.
yeah, 2 audios. So we went through this last time. The first podcast we did.
Are we on right now?
Yeah, we've been recording for a bit.
Okay.
So welcome to Casual with Ryan Proctor. I'm back for the 46th installment, which is pretty good.
It's a lot.
Even though it's been like 3 years, I've been kind of slagging a bit here.
That's a lot.
But anyway, yeah. So I just figured out how to record 2 audio tracks on different tracks, so at the same time. Doesn't really make sense, but we got my brother here today.
Hello.
The other Proctor. It's 3rd time on the show. Yeah,
third
something
time
like
on
that.
the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
4th if you count the first when we recorded last week and just didn't. I wasn't happy with the audio. I was slapping my lips and doing this a bunch and nervous. And I was actually realized I was sweating so much, it was affecting my ability to perform conversation.
Yeah, I think you've had 2 weeks to acclimate, sort of. So
yeah, I'm sweating right now.
Might be better off. It's still hot. It's hotter now than when it's progressively hotter the last 3 weeks.
Which is insane because when I got here it was hot, but it was rainy season when I got here, and rainy season ended abruptly. We're in Costa Rica, like 4 days ago, or maybe a week ago. It ended abruptly.
Went from rain to windy season, pretty much right away. Yeah.
It got actually the breeze is good, not right now, but the breeze is nice. It helps.
Yep.
And it helps because the roads are dusty now, and it blows the dust off the roads when you're on the ATV, getting dust in the eyes.
That's right.
And I found so much dust in my ears. Do you notice that? Like I was in the shower and I was like, I'm washing my ears because I wash my ears for some reason. I guess people do, but just dirt in my ears from collecting on the road from driving it.
It's a funny thing because I've never really been like a motorcycle person or anything like that. Mountain bikes, of course. You know, when it gets hot and dry in Whistler Squamish area, you get the dust effect. But here, everything's open. Like you're riding around on a 4-wheeler or motorbike, and there's no requirement really for helmets and stuff like that. So you're kind of out there.
Yeah.
And it's too hot to have the windows up in my old truck because the AC is not really chilling it off. So yeah, there's dust everywhere. It's weird. You try to keep everything open for a while to get the moisture out. Now you're trying to keep everything closed to keep the dust out. So
yeah. Like when I first got here, we're doing laundry, and you'd have to look for the break in the sky, put the laundry out, hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
And because you need to dry it because you don't have a dryer here because I don't think anybody really has a dryer unless you're probably loaded. Not a local. So we're in more of sort of a local area in a traditional, I guess, setup with the house. Rural kind of zone.
Yeah. So we don't have all the there's no dishwasher, there's no dryer.
Right.
Everybody kind of relies on old school doing it by hand kind of thing. So it's pretty good. It's a big change for the way we used to live, I guess, North American style. So it's good. It
makes you pay attention for sure. It makes you realize you got to do stuff. It makes you you can't just glide through. Like I got laundry out right now because I'm leaving in a few days, and I'm like, if I don't do it now, and I try to wait to the end, I don't get a chance because let's say it does rain for some reason or something, or I get busy.
You can't just toss it in the dryer and be like, I'm out.
No, I actually like the way it comes kind of crispy from not being in the dryer.
Yeah, the crispy dryer is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think the dryer. I mean, I have a couple shirts that the dryer has helped the look of them.
Yes.
Over the years.
Well, you're gonna get the authentic sun fade here. People are like, man, you've been down in Central America. Like, yeah, man, my shirts are sun faded.
Oh man, stamp. My one shirt is ruined. I don't know what happened to it, but the shoulders are blowing out. So much weight on them, I guess. But.
Well, I think you appreciate some stuff more. You take better care of it because it's not as easy to get. It's not as easy to clean.
Yeah.
You know, you get a clean dish. Maybe you rinse it and use it again rather than just throw it in the dishwasher. Like there's lots of stuff going on that way. And I think the big push here. We went to a presentation at our kids' school in between. Costa Rica podcast number 1.
Yeah.
Costa Rica podcast number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, the neighbor's got a dirt bike.
Dirt bike noise is pretty standard here.
Yeah.
About the environment and stuff, and they've done a great job of switching from sort of deforestation to sort of reforesting things. They went from some stat 40% of the country was been wiped out or stayed green. Now they're back up to 60%. So they've reversed the trend, which is what I'm getting at.
That's pretty good.
But stuff being conservative when you're washing your dishes.
Yeah.
Keeping the water to a minimum usage because it's a aquifer here. I don't know. It's not the traditional sort of water supply that we're used to in Canada where it's not always a big deal. got to be mindful of that. Got to be mindful of the energy you use because electricity can be hard to come by and expensive. So that types of thing. You're like, well, living in a more traditional way, sort of those problems weren't there before.
Right.
So if you incorporate that a bit into sort of more modern living, it seems to work. I mean, everyone's got clotheslines everywhere, and they're hand washing their dishes and stuff. It's
hand washing dishes is like,
I like it. It's awesome.
I don't know if I like it, but it's like something that you just got to do, and it makes you like, you just have to appreciate how much time things take. That's what I've noticed is like you even just getting around, like like I took a bus from here to Tamarindo the past few days ago. I mean, you probably know that because I was gone for 3 days.
I did notice you weren't here.
Yeah, and
I think I might have dropped you off and picked you up.
Yeah, thanks for that, buddy. That was sweet, huge deal. But it took like, you just chill, like you got to cross a river, you got to wait, traffic's in chaos, like people just chilling out. And then like I noticed that, I guess when I first got here, I was like kind of anxious and kind of like trying to rush around to get things done. And I've been here a bit longer. I'm not saying I've been here for that long, but I'm not settled in. But I think I noticed people that had just gotten here on the van ride I was bringing back, and they were just like, just like kind of antsy. And I felt like I was that way. But just you're forced to slow down a bit, which is cool, and I have nothing to do, so I mean I'm going slow anyway.
Yeah, it's that whole thing where you go on vacation, you go to hurry up and relax. Like you see that, I think, in a lot of places. Like you see it in Whistler for sure, a bit more.
There's no chill in Whistler, I don't think.
It's hard because everyone gets so amped to go, and then you get there and you want to go and do all the stuff you've been ready for, but the whole point of it really is to, a lot of times, is to go and do something fun, exciting, recharge, whatever.
Yeah.
Change your perspective. But then once you kind of get into that, especially here, you just sort of, you kind of have to sort of have some patience and let it happen a little bit, because you can't push to get things done here as much. Like
if the van's late, the van's late. You can't really do anything about it. There's no one to call. And people go to Whistler, get lit up, their wallets get destroyed. So they're like, they're trying to like, deal with it. But yeah, no, I think we got the good day. So the weather you kind of like, the weather helps your laundry, kind of like the seasons change, your laundry gets better, like it's done faster.
The moral of the story, back to the main point, the weather is helping the laundry here.
A shirt can dry in like I don't know.
Used to take 3 days, now it's like 45 minutes.
You got to be on high alert when the rain comes and rush and go and grab it. But anyway. Yeah, I think I did notice we went surfing this morning. I haven't done a lot of that, enough that I'm satisfied for sure. But they even just like the beach has changed and the weather changed, the waves have changed, I noticed. And like people now people are out doing stuff, and people are like, just seems busier in town. And I guess that's just the tourist season kicking off.
I think so. I think it's like my limited experience. There's sort of a natural rhythm to places like this, like ski towns, like, mountain bike places, whatever thing you're into, where sort of the Western culture that's there is there for some sort of activity, and there's lots of stuff going on here. There's, it's a big yoga spot, it's a big nature sort of ecotourism kind of place. There's lots of surfing going on, so I think people are in tune with what's going on in their environment around them. It's not dissimilar to, when the snow starts to come in Whistler, the seasons change. People sort of get, the mood changes in town. More people come, people leave, people coming for this activity. So it's a bit of a change, and I think you start to see that. Like we saw a lot of people out today. And today was a beautiful morning. The swell was pretty good, manageable, and people were out there kind of being mellow about it, and it was more of them, more people around and more local people and stuff. So it was good, but you can tell people are maybe more into it. We noticed, the days when it's an outgoing tide and it's not so good, there's less people there. So people kind of navigate around their schedule and their life with what's going on in the world, the natural world around them. I think it's pretty good.
It's like being a ski town, and you're kind of like town like this and stuff. I think it was cool to be like, hey, like people like going, hey, good to see you. Like they've kind of like not long lost. I haven't seen somebody while they're in the lineup. It's like skiing. But speaking of Whistler, it's getting like biblical there right now.
Big weather events happening there, for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately. Shout out to everybody who's there. Hopefully everybody's safe. But it sounded like it was like, I'm going to be back in a few days, but it sounds like Pemberton's on evacuation notice and stuff. And I mean, for how much rain you guys get here, it was exploding rain some days.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And I don't know if there's flooding. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean, you haven't been here long, but it seems like it handles it better.
Flooding happens for sure, and I wonder if it's just not as built up. Like the roads wash out and they get super potholy, and you're bouncing around all over the place.
It's probably less people, less infrastructure, and less like the ground's not as compromised, maybe.
Yeah, and you don't have to manage as much water because there's not as much concrete, not as much sort of developed space, and I think that's going to come. Like you see, they're building down the road here. It's just a way of thinking that they're thinking about the water management and managing the environment and stuff, and that doesn't always man versus environment. How that can go.
Yeah, man versus environment. This morning I was on the ATV and I went to meet some friends at the beach before I saw you guys, and I was just kind of like not really paying attention, which is something you shouldn't do when you're on the ATV on the highway. Mm-hmm. I turned off the road and there's like that bump on the turning onto that one going to the beach where the concrete ends.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know what happened, but I like almost like the back end bounced, and I thought I was going to go over the bars on the ATV, but I didn't. And I wasn't wearing a helmet, which is insane. But the dust on the roads is crazy. Like guys are starting to wear like the mask thing. I think is helping people.
Yeah, people
I
wear
don't know
it
if they wore it
that.
before, but
I don't know.
It definitely like mask. I don't know if it works for coronavirus, but it definitely works for keeping the dust out of your face when you're on the ATV in the roads.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to one of those things where you see lots of people here who have the sunglasses on and they're just driving, and it's the right way to look. You got your surfboard rack and stuff, but then you're eating dust the whole time, your eyes are itchy and stuff. So then you're like, okay, if you're more practical, you got the the helmet with the visor and you're feeling comfortable. So you're trading off your sort of your style for your
well-being,
your comfort. There's got to be a way to meet the two things up.
I took a bug in the chest this morning, man. Like I don't know how fast I was going, but I think it was like, I don't know if it was one of those man-eating grasshoppers, but it bounced off my chest. Like it hurt, and I can't imagine. I guess on motorbike stuff, I don't really experience motorbikes much, but you got to wear a helmet and stuff and glasses. But I took a bug in the eye a few nights ago when I was coming home in the dark.
Yeah,
and you just can't see, and people just kind of pass and do what they ever want here. But anyway, I just think it's like. We were going back to like just a different kind of life, and it's like I've never really been somewhere long like this where I actually get to experience it more and live it the way you guys are living. It seems like it's not touristy, and it seems like you're just kind of living your life, which I haven't really had that, and it's cool. It's really cool. It's a different perspective.
Yeah, it's amazing to see anywhere you travel. How you can go to the same spot and have a totally different experience than somebody else just by the choices that you made and how you get there, what you do when you're there, how you live when you're there. Whether you're there for 2 weeks or 3 months or a year or whatever the thing is.
Right.
It can be positive, negative, both, but it's definitely, it's probably different. I think if you're here for a short time, maybe you're doing more stuff to try to get it all in. If you're here for a long time, maybe you're trying to get ingrained more with what's going on, sort of culturally a bit more, and then lifestyle-wise.
I think too, trying to be cheap. If you're trying to be inexpensive, not cheap, but inexpensive, you definitely operate a little bit differently. Like if you're on a longer, when I go away longer, I'm trying to manage differently.
You're stretching your money.
If I'm going away for like 2 weeks or whatever, or a week, you can just like kind of send it a little bit different.
Yeah, and even to that extent, you've got more things to consider. Like if you got a vehicle where you are, like we got the truck, we got to take care of that. So you got money going into that.
Yeah,
you got to find the time to go and. You're meeting the mechanic kind of thing, and you wouldn't normally do that sort of thing if you were on vacation. You'd take the shuttle or whatever, and then you got a leaky drain. Like I got this thing going on, you got to go to the hardware store. You wouldn't meet those guys if you're just on vacation.
Right.
At the same time, I'm not in some hotel where I'm meeting all kinds of tourism type people who can. So this is definitely a different thing.
You're just trying to find your
good
footing.
And bad. I mean, it's not even. It's just different. I think it's pretty. I find that interesting about the way things are happening with us right now.
It's insane. Well, it's insane, but like when Proctor has a Toyota and like a piece fell off, that breeze
is good.
I felt right there.
See, that's the thing. You can appreciate the breeze. You're not like
it's like half a second
with the wind right now.
Yeah, it's like half a second
is good
of support. But yeah, so he's got this Toyota. It's like an old Helix, and a part fell off while his wife was waiting to pick up the kids from school. And I'm like, what is it? And the mechanic's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just come back on Tuesday and we'll fix it. And it was just like a pulley that holds the.
Yeah.
But then the guy's like, you go to the shop, they're just closed. Like he's just like, I'm closed for. They're not open 24. They're not open like 7 days a week, and they just kind of chill. Yeah. Which is cool because then you're just like, well, you'll learn I can't use it. I mean, you can drive the truck, but it's like I gotta like chill on it and not.
Yeah, you said you're fine, and it's it goes back to anything, the make and model and all that kind of stuff. And we're not super engine people or mechanical people car wise. I don't think. At least I'm not. I don't think
I'm not.
No offense, but I don't think you're a car guy.
I don't take offense from that, dude.
But you can drive it around. We drove it for a couple hundred kilometers and it was all fine. But it's one of those things where if I was probably North America back in BC, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I'd be sketched out. But here you kind of don't have an option. You're like, well, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. To me, anyway.
Yeah, and you're just like, I mean, you're kind of not driving that far. Well, I mean, you guys did the, I don't know if I can bring this up.
No, it was a couple hundred kilometers, but you know.
Did the border run, yeah. So that's like, and a truck with a mechanic is like, I just come back in 3 days, drive it. I don't think it would happen in back home. They'd be like, no, bring it in. They would say, don't. Actually, I have no idea. I'm just talking shit, but anyway, it still runs. I drove it last night. It runs pretty good.
It's driving fine, so.
Yeah, it's like, it's loud, but
we might tear it apart this afternoon and try and fix it ourselves.
Yeah, I think so. I'll try for sure.
Yeah.
I think you got to check your schedule, see if you have anything to do.
That's critical. If you're going to tear your only car apart, you got to do it when you got a clean couple of days. Nowhere to go. So.
Well, it's like when Andrew ran out of gas on the ATV. I ran out of gas on the ATV the other day. But you just hit the reserve tank. But like for a second there, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't know how to talk to anybody.
But people here, like,
they just stop and help you.
They do. It's a different. Cool. It's a different thing. Everyone's kind of got the same common issues. Like it's you know, it's a little bit more cumbersome and difficult to get some things done, and people recognize that you're struggling with it.
Yeah.
They kind of offer to help out. So it's pretty good that way.
Like I got destroyed surfing a couple of days ago when I was in Tamarindo, and I was like totally like unprepared for what just happened. And a dude was surfing beside me. He's like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And I was like, "He's like, yeah, just follow me. Come out this way." So I got to follow him out, and he helped me out. But man, I was like, I don't think that for surfing, I was kind of like thinking that doesn't happen a lot because I always hear these rumors of like people, you know, being territorial and stuff. But this guy was pretty cool. But I think the same thing on the highways.
Yeah.
Like they just it's cool. They stop. They're like, "You all right?" But you're like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Yeah.
I mean, just had on gas.
It's good, and I think people just recognize that there's times when it's hard to be somewhere different, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
And even if you're living here, like things aren't as easy or accessible to get. So you know, if you're struggling, someone might. There's more of a chance people are going to say, "Hey, I'll give you a hand" or whatever, and it's pretty good. You know? Yeah,
I think the language barrier. Like yesterday when I was taking the bus back from Tamarindo, the bus driver. I don't speak Spanish, and it's probably rude that I don't, but I'm trying. But the whole bus, no one could speak Spanish, and he was trying to communicate where they were going, and they go like, it's funny to watch. So they're like, the buses meet, all three buses like at this spot, and everybody switches buses. It's like the big vans, it's not a big bus, but they're like, okay, they go Tamarindo and no Sara. That they say it so loudly and clearly that the people on the bus are like, okay, because they probably know that everyone's like kind of just nervous and doesn't really know what people are saying.
Yeah. But
they are very clear of where you're going. Because I'm sure someone's been like, I'm not supposed to be here, and then they can't.
And you would never know because you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't say, hey, I'm going the wrong way when you're traveling. You won't recognize anything. It's only in talking to somebody else saying, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going here.
Yeah.
And then by that time, you know, you're 20 minutes down the road is a big
Or
deal.
the guy's like, I'm going to drop you off at the supermarket, and people are like, why? Where's the supermarket? Like, and it's like, anyway, no, they were really good, and I think it's cool that, I think where you are here is like the community's cool. Like,
seems
people
good.
will help you.
Yeah, it seems
the
good.
Neighbor seems like a good dude, and I mean, maybe the other neighbor's not a good dude, but
yeah, and I mean, it always seems, you know, it's interesting to be on the other side of it because, you know, given that we're a couple of white dudes, you're not often on the flip side of it where you're the minority, right? And yeah, we're privileged and all that sort of stuff, so it definitely helps. But there's, you know, I think this is a very, for the most part, you know, outwardly welcoming, kind of warming culture, and if you have the right attitude and you are not, you know, trying to be a, you know, jerk about things, you just try to be accommodating. And
do you think people try to be jerks? Do you think people are like out there like?
I think some people just are. I don't know, but yeah, you know, you can get a good reception from people. And
do you know who's a bunch of jerks on Twitter? People are jerks.
Yeah, I don't do the Twitter.
Yeah, it's good, man. I was noticing the other day with everything going on in our world now, people are up in arms about everything, and they're you know, there's a lot of jerks out there.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of jerks out there.
We're, you know, you and I joke around about funny stuff, and I've you know, jerk once in a while just to be jokes, but people are real jerks, man. And I notice like there's people that aren't really happy, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, I guess they just get wrapped up in stuff so much, but it seems like down here people are just kind of hanging out, and they have work to do. Like people work hard, long days. Yeah. But people are usually like, "Hey, what's up?" Smiling. They're like, and it's so hot. I guess you're just like, he's like, "Fuck it, it's just so hot. I can't even." You just gotta like let it go.
Yeah, and I think you know, you grow. Obviously, you've got a lifetime of experience with the environment, and the climate, and the way things happen out here. So it's a different perspective. But the specific challenges, and a lot of times you think that people are just sort of happy. They don't really see it as a challenge. You know, we're trying to live a North American way in Central American. That's obviously going to have its own issues, and then a lot of hard work. I think it makes you appreciate what like if people are complaining, I go to work 9 to 5. Okay, well, like, we've seen people here get up 5 o'clock in the morning, come home when it's dark, 6 or something, and they're doing that 6 days a week at least, maybe working something on Saturday.
Speaking of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, man.
You hear what's going on in the background, everybody?
Lots of roosters.
Roosters and that dog?
Dogs and roosters. Today was a lot of dogs and roosters for some reason.
Like 3:30. I was telling some friends that are living down the other way they're here for a few weeks, and they're like, I'm like, oh, what time you wake up? I'm like, I usually wake up around 3:30 or 4. They're like, why? I'm like, because there's roosters and they're insane.
Dogs and roosters, yeah.
But when I was away for a few days in Tamarindo, there's no roosters because it was like a touristy town.
Yeah.
I couldn't even sleep, so now I'm not used to being quiet.
It's too quiet. Yeah, it's ruined you. Too quiet.
Dude, they are insane. Like, I don't know what they're doing or what they're cuckooing about, but they're fucking cuckooing, man, all over the map.
Well, anything I could figure out on it was it's a territorial thing, and they're they start at a certain point in the day they do that. But these guys seem to go all day. I don't know why. So. And
I noticed a guy carrying one upside down. They just go dormant when you grab them by the legs.
Yeah, well,
like it was alive, and he was carrying it like by the legs upside down, and it was just hanging there.
If somebody grabbed you or me by the legs and hung me upside down,
I'd be frantic. But I mean, like
after a while, you kind of just give up, probably.
I think you can die from hanging upside down for too long.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
I googled it once. I don't remember what the outcome was because my memory's not so great. Probably hanging upside down when I googled it, but I googled it once, and if you hang upside down for too long, I think it can kill you.
There's got to be some
you
blood
get an aneurysm and blood flow thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I watched this rooster. There's one next door. It's probably like 50 pounds. It's huge.
That one's okay. It sort of has its schedule. It's like morning time. It's a little bit loud. It gets all its family organized, and then it's good. Yeah. These guys next door, I don't know what's happening there.
I think they just have a stereo going with the roosters.
They have a little bit of a confusion of what
because there's no we were talking earlier. There's no insulation. There's no like between all the doors. You can see kind of outside.
Yeah.
So there's no like audio break.
No, you get. It's like they're sitting in the room with you sometimes.
You get full rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like, but I mean, they have like the place next door has this big hill, and they got like 10 chickens.
Yeah,
They're probably eating. I think they're buying their own eggs. No, they're just eating eggs. Right?
Eating eggs,
but where do you find like? I don't understand if the chickens just walk around wild. Do you just follow them for their eggs and find them in the forest? I don't know.
I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong guy.
Can you do some surveillance when I'm gone?
I would imagine some sort of nest area where the chickens sort of go back to. I would guess, but I don't know.
But I was just surprised to see the one hanging upside down by the guy's hand. He was holding on to it, it was just kind of like flopping there, and then I could see his head move once in a while.
Yeah.
And then I think he was trading chickens with the neighbor.
Yeah, he probably got to upgrade and trade and whatever.
Yeah, right. Just like his community thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're super loud, man. I can't understand it. But then in Tamarindo, it's like turkey vultures everywhere.
Yeah, and people too, I would imagine. It's pretty
those
busy
vultures,
there.
those fucking vultures everywhere too.
Yeah,
that was a different
busy.
scene. It's a lot. It's changed a bunch since I've been there, and I'm no expert on the place. But my brother and I went to Tamarindo 15 years ago, I guess.
A long time. Yeah, it was a different spot back then.
And
but still enough similarities that you can say, okay, I remember some of this.
It's pretty cool still. It's just different now. It's still cool. Lots of fun stuff to do.
Yeah.
A lot more infrastructure, I guess, and the people are there. There's a bigger, it's more vibrant, if you will, than just like a small town with nothing going on.
It's a busier spot. The country seems to be, well, I guess that's not true. We were on talking to a local tour guide, and he said the rest of the country used to get a lot of tourism. People would go, checking out rainforests and touring everywhere. And he said still it's the beach towns that have kind of kept it. They're coming back first from all the lockdowns and shutdowns and travel restrictions and stuff. The beach areas seem to be the ones that are bringing people back. But I think it's just starting to open up again. I mean, oddly enough, but this place lives off tourism, so it's gonna come for sure, and I think it's gonna get busy, which is good. I mean, it's good. A lot of people need the money business to keep going. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, where you guys are, it's pretty quiet. Like, there's not nice. I mean, I don't mean quiet in terms of like there's no noise, because there's plenty of noise.
No, but I don't think the population changes in our neighborhood that much with tourism going on. At the Gion's Beach is going to be it's going to be busy for sure.
Yeah, sweet. So we've been down here a little while. We've been eating food and stuff. And I've just been hammering back. I was eating goldfish for a while because I felt like it was comfort food. But then I got those like local barbecue peanuts.
Oh yeah,
they have a
good.
different taste for some reason to them.
The bag goes pretty quick around here. That's all I can say right
now. But I've been noticing around here the pizza's super good.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's lots of good pizza places. And I think, I've just assumed you come here and everyone's eating tacos and whatever, just that's super, I don't know, stereotypical, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's not really like that.
Yeah, the pizza here is the one place in Tamarindo was bullshit that what's the Tamarind? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Don't go there, whatever the name of it is. But yeah, I've been digging what the food is. The burgers are good and stuff, and like definitely tacos are great. But
yeah, it's different. Well, I mean, the best thing to get is the casado, obviously, the local sort of rice beans with whatever.
That place Rosie's
is good.
It's solid.
Yep, it's good. And there's a few places around. We're into now the more sort of out of the tourist place you can be to get more authentic stuff going. It seems to be good. It's just a cycle. You know, you come here, you do the most obvious stuff, and then you kind of you dig deeper into it. And
you learn a way out of it and start to get back in like what it's like to just really live around or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's where it goes for a lot of people who are.
Hey, but you guys, so I'm going to jump around here, but you guys did I don't know if you want to talk about this, but you guys did a border run.
Yeah.
To renew your visa.
Yep.
And
1 day to Nicaragua and back. It's a bit of a mission.
Yeah, it's a mission. And you kind of probably the uncertainty of you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. How does this work? What are they going to be mad at us? Do they care? Are there going to be like hiccups along the way?
It's amazing how comfortable we can be here, and then you're going to do this thing, and you get uncomfortable again.
Yeah.
And there's stress and all stuff. And even the people we're with, like a lot of people, it's a really. And when you look back on the process, like anywhere you travel, like you buy your ticket, you get on the plane, you fill out your paperwork, whatever, you go, and it's like my experience, not a whole lot. If you're totally legit, it's not a whole lot that can go sideways. But it just feels like it for some reason.
You were saying that one of the dudes, police officers there, was like a soccer fan.
I wasn't happy that Canada beat because we're not supposed to be good at that, I don't think. But
I don't follow it, but what did he say to you guys?
Big 1-0. He was in Spanish, so we didn't have a very like local sort of Spanish. So it's pretty hard to understand. And I don't speak Spanish really at all. Ange does that for the most part.
Proctor's wife is Ange.
It's my own fault. But yeah, he was giving us a bit of a hard time. He's kind of joking, but then you
don't know.
You're standing in the jungle on the side of the highway with an armed police officer. And he kind of starts saying it. You're like, is this? Anyway, he turns out he's very friendly, joking, play with the kids and stuff. So it's a very warm kind of culture. But yeah, for a minute you're like, I don't know.
And he said like something like, I'm not going to let you in
because
Canada beat Costa Rica in soccer.
Rica. And I don't know the whole significance because I'm not a huge football fan right now.
Yeah.
I like the Canadian. That we're sort of an underdog, which is good. It's weird because we're not. You'd think
Canada and soccer. I don't know. I mean,
but you guess they're playing like Honduras and Panama and all these countries where if you look at the size of the country and the wealth of the country and stuff, and you've got the U.S. and you got Canada and you got Mexico, they should dominate, right? And I think Mexico and the U.S. do dominate. But Canada's always this weird thing in the middle, and I guess now that they've become a better team, it's really disrupting a bit of the order.
Yeah, because the women's team, Canadian team, is awesome.
It's awesome. We're just not a soccer culture, whereas Costa Rica, it is, right?
People are getting
It's like if people were all of a sudden knocked us down to third or fourth in hockey in the world, you'd be like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think we are, aren't we?
Probably.
We're getting destroyed.
No, I don't know. I mean, we always seem to do well enough. But you know what I mean? Like you think, this isn't in the sporting world, this doesn't feel right. And
I think what I was getting at was like everything's just pretty normal. Like if you're going on the border and back, nobody's any different. We just assume things are.
Yeah, regular people.
It's a real shame. And I guess some are all guilty, but everyone's just people doing their thing. And that's what I was getting at. Is like the guy makes a joke, you're like
he's just messing with you. Yeah,
because
you could get that anywhere. Like any.
Yeah. I think. So then I did that thing, and then you come back and you do it every 3 months or whatever.
Depends on your situation, your status in the country. It's like being in the U.S. or being in Canada or whatever. You've got a certain amount of time where they've authorized you to be there based on your work or your whatever you're doing, and then when that time's up, you got to go and figure it out. So here, there's different lengths of tourist visas you can get depending on when you're coming back. What your travel schedule looks like, what you're doing here, and all that sort of stuff. And it just happened to be our time to go and get it renewed. So that was just the quickest, easy way. And probably next time we'd go stay somewhere close by, or go surf there or something.
Because when you and I were here a long time ago, we split ways in like Liberia. You had to fly back to Toronto.
Yeah.
And I flew back to Vancouver through LA and stuff. And you got lit for no reason. It lit up.
I think it's just every so often they got to check somebody, and it's like, okay, you're coming. Single person coming back from this country, you were there. And I'd been down a few times, so maybe it's some kind of profile or something. But
they're like this guy.
Yeah, it's different now. You get the family.
And do you dress up at the airport when you go to the airport? To kind of like, you don't care, right? People there's like a lot of like.
Where did I see this recently? No, I
know Larry David gets mad at it, but
I think you got to at least have a shower when you go to the airport.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe put on some. I try to wear a clean T-shirt, maybe a collar shirt or something.
Right.
I'm a little bit maybe old, out of touch, but.
Do you wear flip-flops to the airport? I guess it's hot here, though. Like, I mean, it's different. But, like, I'm going to go home in a few days here. I'm going to, like, do I wear flip-flops or just get it going and wear shoes and get to the airport? Like
I do the switch over at the airport.
Right.
Because I think you get into the airport, it's going to be somewhat air conditioned. You get on a plane, it's going to be air conditioned, whatever. And then once you get to North America, you're comfortable again. But I just don't think I don't get. Yeah, there he goes again. I don't know. I think there's a bit of respect you need to have for traveling.
Right.
Some level,
man.
Like I don't want to see. I don't know what the guy said, but I don't want to see this kid, everybody's pajamas when they're on the plane.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Comfort is big for sure. You don't need to wear a suit necessarily.
That's pretty gangster though.
It's pretty
baller. But it's not comfortable. Then it's creased.
No, and I travel for work and you wear nice clothes because you're getting off going to do something.
Right.
I get that. But if you're just making a transition somewhere, you can be comfortable but still not be like.
Like if you're going south, don't show off you're going south by wearing like flip flops and shorts in Vancouver Airport in the middle of winter.
That's going to piss some people off who aren't going south. Right?
I actually don't care, but I just think it's funny that I'm going to try to. I don't even know. My flip flops are destroyed. I've been wearing them all day and every day. My shoes are collecting dust. There was like spider webs in my shoes.
Yeah, you got to watch that stuff living in your shoes.
Yeah, have you ever had like?
I have it here, but yeah, I've heard of that's a thing. That's why there's heat and there's
bugs,
insects that make flip flops and sandals more appealing, I think, than other parts of the world.
But you and I did that. There's a waterfall near my brother's place. It's a little ways away, not too far, but a quick ATV ride and a little hike. And I wore flip flops to there, and I was like waiting for something to bite me or whatever. But there was really nothing like.
It's a mind game kind of thing. It's
weird. You just think there is.
You think you're in the jungle, but you're not. You're just in the forest.
Yeah, I mean there probably is shit out there, but there was some like it was all fenced off in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful back there.
Yeah, and it's relative. Like you can we talked this before, where you can have, where we're coming from Canada, you can have bears roaming your neighborhood. Doesn't really. I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
I see a bear. I walk outside, there's a bear. Okay, no big deal. But if you took somebody from here and put them there,
they'd lose their mind.
Probably be pretty exciting for them. Same thing here. If I see some kind of like, crocodile or snake or something, or iguana, even the big iguana is kind of like, ooh,
They were huge in the driveway last time. Our last podcast lesson you're never going to see. We were talking about this. They just go like bunk. They just follow the tree, and they make a loud slap on the ground or wherever they fall, because I guess they go onto a branch and they don't have enough weight.
Yeah.
But Proctor's got this like little barbecue kind of gazebo thing over here with a metal roof.
And
I heard like what's that?
That's where they fall from.
Yeah, and it went like bang, and I'm like, what was that noise? And it jumped off and landed by the pool.
Yeah.
And then two of them are in here, and they're probably like 2 feet long, probably.
Yeah.
And then Hank, Proctor's dog, who's like destroyed over here laying down.
He was on it, yeah.
He was all over it. Them. But then you have like, the howler monkeys, they're pretty harmless. They don't leave the tree. They're like right up there.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just animals, and it shouldn't be such a big deal. But
it's just different.
Yeah. But like the squirrels here are legit. They're like kind of brown on top with like they look like a reverse eclair. They're kind of like, like on top.
Yeah.
And they're like brown, and then they have like big tails. They're kind of cool looking. They're about the size of like squirrels in Ontario.
Yeah.
If you're anybody's familiar with that, compared to squirrels in like BC, they're pretty small. But there's like, and the bugs, man. Some of them are just bright. They look like they're.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Do you know if there's something about brightness? Like if the brighter the bug, the crazier it is?
I haven't heard that.
Oh.
It's possible.
I'll look it up.
It's like people. It's the brighter the person.
Because there was a spider web over here by the laundry, and I took it in the face a couple days ago, and the spider was on me, and it was like, looked like a white leaf on top, and it like looks like a crab, little mini crab.
That's a little weird.
I lost my mind. Well, I lost my mind, dude. I was like, where is it? And so
live on the clothesline, I think. Yeah.
I picked it up on a little piece of paper and put it back so it could grow its clothesline again, but it's not there anymore. Because they were building them for a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Cool story.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. We've talked a little bit here, but I don't want to keep it too long because I'm gonna get hot, and I gotta go and move my laundry around. I think
laundry dance is gonna start. I gotta go back to work, so it's all.
Yeah, I've got to work. Yeah. But so I've been here for like a month, and my brother's let me crash here, mooch here. So I really appreciate it, man. It's been cool.
It's been good to hang out.
Hope it's been fun. I've been hanging out with your kids who are insane but awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's louder, roosters or Johnny, but
they keep everybody busy. He's having a good time.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
fun to watch them surf. It's cool to hang out with them and just see them kind of growing and appreciating this area. And but yeah, no, I appreciate what's going on here, man. I thank you. Thanks for having me and letting me interview you on my podcast.
Thanks for having me on the show again.
Hopefully this one. Are you cool with this one? Can I post this one?
We'll have to look at it.
Better than the last one. I'm not gonna review. I'm not gonna edit it.
No, just go for it. Yeah, it's fine. Straight up.
But yeah, thanks for everything, man. And yeah, well, I'm sure I'll be January maybe or something. I don't know. Do it again. Do a bit of a trip. But yeah, man. Well,
okay.
Good chatting, buddy.
Cheers,
Yeah, cheers.